Every fighting game has that character, you know the one I'm talking about. The character that's introduced like they're the biggest threat imaginable. Let me paint this picture for you. The music gets dramatic, the story tells you they're dangerous, and even other characters in the story talk about them like they're some unstoppable monster or something. And then 5 minutes later, they're facing down on the floor getting packed up by somebody they were supposed to beat. That's what we're talking about today. The biggest frauds in Mortal Kombat. Now, before anyone gets mad, I'm not saying these characters are weak. A lot of them are incredibly powerful in the lore. That's what makes this even worse, because despite all that power that they have, all that hype and all that build up, they spend most of their time collecting losses. These are the characters that talk like champions and fight like jobbers. But if you guys don't know me by now, I'm Mr. Frosty Flames, but you can call me Mike. We do anything gaming news, reviews, playthroughs, etc., and we do it in a chill way with no over editing BS. So if you enjoy that style of content, be sure to hit that sub button and join the Mr. Frosty Flames Legion. Anyways, let's get back to the video. So the first character I chose is the King, Reptile. You guys know him. He's the Green Ninja, the undisputed heavyweight champion of taking L's. Reptile. At this point, Reptile might actually be the most disrespected character in Mortal Kombat history, because think about how cool this character is on paper. He's the last surviving member of a lost race. He's invisible, he has acid power, he has that ninja design. One of the most original Mortal Kombat characters. This guy should be a superstar if you think about it. Instead, Reptile spends most of his existence getting folded. The craziest part is that the games constantly tell us how dangerous he is, and then immediately show us the opposite. Because I genuinely think that Reptile has lost more fights than some characters have even appeared in. Because at this point, if Reptile shows up in a cutscene, you already know what's about to happen. He's getting sacrificed to make somebody else look strong. He's basically the wrestling equivalent of a guy whose entire job is laying on his back looking at the lights. And sure, MK1 did him some justice by giving him his own story chapter and basically rewriting his own story where he's actually relevant. But you know, the games before Mortal Kombat 1 treated him like a total jobber. I swear I've never seen him win a single fight. And the same could be said for the next character, and that's Baraka. Baraka is another character that's consistently presented as an extreme threat. You know, he's a leader of the Tarkatans. He's a fearsome and ruthless fighter and warrior. He looks like he could tear somebody in half, and he plays the part too, man. That guy's intimidating, right? But to be honest, he probably could, but the problem is that Mortal Kombat never lets him. Baraka's career is basically showing up, looking intimidating, saying something aggressive, and then immediately losing. The funniest part is that Baraka is actually one of the strongest looking characters in the franchise. You see those arm blades and think, yeah, you know, I don't want to fight this guy. You see his teeth and you're like, bro, man, get that guy away from me. The story sees those arm blades and thinks, perfect, let's have him lose again. That's basically what NRS is thinking. And finally, like I said with Reptile, MK1 finally gave Baraka some respect. Even the Mortal Kombat movie gave Baraka some respect. But man, it took about 30 years to get there. It's the same thing with Reptile, man. He's an OG, man. This guy should have been winning fights left and right. This guy needs to be strong, man. But all you see him beat is some like low-level Shaolin monks. He's tearing them apart. But when you actually get to a named character, he does nothing. And he loses, except for Mortal Kombat 1, but I doubt it's going to be like that for any longer. And the next character I chose is actually Nitara. Now hear me out. Nitara might be one of the funniest cases in modern Mortal Kombat, because MK1 wanted us to believe that she was a serious threat, you know, a vampire warrior with supernatural powers, a deadly fighter from a different realm. And then every time she appears, she gets turned into a highlight reel for somebody else. They even got Megan Fox to voice her, man. They were really building her up, but really they threw it all away. At some point I stopped seeing Nitara as a villain and started seeing her as a community service, because whenever a character needed a quick win, Nitara would just randomly show up, just fly into the battlefield, you'd get a fight with her, and then you'd win. It got so bad that people started expecting it. The moment Nitara entered a scene, you knew somebody was about to increase their win percentage, you know, depending on whose chapter you were on, right? It was really, really bad. And speaking of MK1, let's go more into it to the main villains, the Deadly Alliance. Now this one hurts, because we're talking about legends here. The Deadly Alliance in the 3D era in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, they were terrifying. Shang Tsung and Quan Chi literally killed Liu Kang in the opening cutscene of the game. I'm telling you, the opening cutscene, like Liu Kang is dead, the main character is dead. They conquered realms, they manipulated everyone, they felt unstoppable. Then Mortal Kombat 1 brings them back. So what are we gonna do? Are we gonna have them kill like Liu Kang again? Are they gonna just murder Raiden or any other powerful character character? Are they gonna manipulate everyone? Yes and no. Everything is sort of like lessened down, sort of like Disneyfied, and these are supposed to be the two most dangerous villains in the franchise history, and somehow they feel like two guys just working part-time, because everything they're doing is like basically half of what they could actually do. I mean, in the original timeline, we'd seen that they killed Shao Kahn, they killed Liu Kang. Man, these guys were unstoppable. How come they aren't really doing anything in MK1? Instead, they spend most of the story just getting outplayed by everyone else. Sure, they have their moments, but these are the original Deadly Alliance, man. They felt like the final exam. They were the final boss. The MK1 version feels like a group project that nobody wanted to do. And the next one I chose is also Mortal Kombat 1, and is also a big bad guy, General Shao. This one might be controversial because General Shao is powerful, very powerful, but we're not judging powerful. We're judging results, and those results are rough. Think about the classic Shao Kahn. When he showed up, people panicked, man. Entire realms were at risk. This guy felt inevitable. Now look at General Shao. It's like a baby Shao Kahn. I get he hasn't really just evolved into Shao Kahn yet, but really he's not really doing much. The story constantly tells us how dangerous he is, how brilliant he is, how powerful he is. He's trying to manipulate everyone, usurp the throne, and yet he's constantly taking losses, man. And it's gotten to a point where I sometimes forget he's supposed to be the main threat of Outworld. And you know, he started that Outworld civil war, but like after a single chapter, what, it's all done, he's in prison, and then all of a sudden he breaks out of prison with no explanation. I mean, they're really messing up the story. They're messing up Shao Kahn, man. His aura is there, but the record isn't. And speaking of Shao Kahn, who's with him? Reiko. Poor Reiko. This man has been trying to become important for decades. Every game sort of treats him like he's one step away from greatness. He's supposed to be the next Shao Kahn, basically his right-hand man, the powerful dude. Every game basically ends with him being right back where he started. And the funniest thing about Reiko is that the fan base has spent years convincing themselves he's gonna be a major villain. And Mortal Kombat and NRS just keep responding with just no, he's not. Every time Reiko gains momentum, the story immediately takes it away. At this point, Reiko's biggest rival isn't another character, it's just being relevant. And you know, again, in the Mortal Kombat 1 ending, his arcade ending, he was supposed to be taming Onaga, and some intro dialogues allude to him taming Onaga, so I really hope that maybe he is in Mortal Kombat 13 and he has something to do with the revival of Onaga. That would give him extreme relevance, but as of right now, he's just poor old Reiko doing nothing. Now the next character I chose is actually Ermac. Ermac is weird because lore-wise, Ermac should be terrifying. He has thousands of souls inside him. You know, he has incredible powers, one of the coolest concepts in the franchise. But Mortal Kombat has a bad habit of using Ermac as a stepping stone. Need to show somebody is strong, have them beat Ermac. Need a cool fight scene? Okay, have Ermac in it, but he's just gonna end up losing. Need a quick villain story? Okay, have Ermac get thrown into a wall. For a guy made of thousands of warriors, he sure spends a lot of time getting jumped just by one warrior. And you know, the next goes with Smoke. He's another ninja. Smoke has one of the most tragic records in the franchise. Whether he's a human or he's a cyborg, the guy cannot catch a break. Every time Smoke starts building momentum, something happens. He gets corrupted, he gets captured, he gets brainwashed, he's just defeated. It's honestly impressive. If Bad Luck was a fighting style, Smoke would be S tier. And the funny thing about these characters is that most of them aren't weak. That's what makes them frauds. That's why I named this video Frauds. They're powerful, they're dangerous, they have amazing designs, amazing lore, amazing concepts, but somehow between the story mode and the actual results, they end up collecting more losses than victories. Maybe one day Mortal Kombat will finally stop using the same characters as punching bags. Until then, Reptile, Baraka, Nitara, Reiko, and all of the rest of the Fraud Hall of Fame will continue to do what they do best. Losing fights they were hyped up to win, and honestly at this point, it's becoming their brand. But that's just my take on it. Let me know what you guys think down below. Who is the biggest fraud in Mortal Kombat history? Somebody that is hyped up to be the biggest and baddest fighter ever, but then just lose all the time. Let me know in the comments down below. But that's gonna be it for today's video, guys. If you like this video, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe to join the Mr. Frosty Flames Legion. Mr. Frosty Flames out. Ciao.